Hello, everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Swim less, win gold. Olympic champion Cameron McEvoy breaks down his revolutionary training methods. The Australian sprinter studied other sports to create a novel training plan, which saw him reduce his weekly swimming from 30 kilometers to 2 kilometers and win his first Olympic gold medal in 4 games. How do you train to win Olympic gold in swimming? Australia's Cameron McEvoy knows just the way: swim less. The sprint specialist has competed at 3 Olympic Games without getting close to an Olympic final in the 50-meter freestyle, but made a breakthrough at Paris 2024, aged 30, after uprooting his entire training regime. His radical new approach incorporates lessons from dry land sprint sports like athletics and track cycling and reduces the number of laps swam in the pool in favor of more hours in the gym. For McEvoy, that meant scaling down from swimming an average of 30 kilometers per week to only 2. Now, with the announcement that 3 50m events will be added to the swimming program at LA 28, the physics and mathematics major is eager to test out his methods in other strokes for the first time in an Olympic career that spans more than a decade. Beyond his personal goals, McEvoy is hoping his approach will wipe out enduring myths about swimming training and help athletes who left the sport due to its high endurance demands find a new way to swim fast. They're seeing what I'm doing, and they're either coming back and testing it out for themselves or reigniting their passion for the sport. A lot of them are doing best times after being out of the pool for 5-10 years, McEvoy told Olympics. I'm just enjoying the fact that this is now starting to grow, learning from rock climbers, sprinters, and street lifters. McEvoy's training for his first 3 Olympic Games he made his debut at London 2012 followed a traditional training plan. Even as a sprinter, he would swim 30 to 40 kilometers per week on average year-round, and sometimes as much as 60 kilometers per week. While the lengthy sessions in the pool helped to develop McEvoy's metabolic capacity, they did not translate to medal-winning results in the sprints. He was 11th in the 50-meter freestyle at Rio 2016 and was eliminated in the heats of the 50m and 100m free at Tokyo 2020. Returning from his 3rd Olympics, McEvoy took a year off from swimming and explored other sports. Rock climbing was his first exposure to the strength-to-weight ratio. McEvoy was particularly impressed to see climbers do a front lever, holding on by their fingers alone, something he could not do at the time. It made the 3-time Olympian realize how much potential still existed to improve strength training within the freestyle stroke. That was the light switch on moment that led me to further investigate general strength philosophies, general power development philosophies, how I could put that within swimming and within my event, McEvoy said. As he looked beyond rock climbing to other sports that are similar to swimming sprints, McEvoy came across the studies of Stephen and Pauline Richards. The British psychotherapists developed the informational monism and superposition theory in the 1980s, which analyses how different approaches can lead to similar outcomes. McEvoy applied that meta-model to discover the different ways he could train in his signature 50-meter freestyle race. The biggest reframing that I had for my approach was pivoting to view the 50-meter freestyle as a strength-based skill, McEvoy explained. That pivot then allowed me to lean on and take a lot out of the strength world, the athletics world. So how the athletics guys train for the 100 and the 200, particularly the 200, because that's similar in time. In the strength world, if your sport was 10 pull-ups with 40 kilos as fast as you can, how would you train for that? And so, I approached a lot of people who had Guinness World Records for weighted pull-ups, and people who did street lifting competitions for pull-ups and dips, etc. Learned a lot from that, and then recontextualized that to how you would train for a 50 freestyle. Fewer laps, more weights. McEvoy's new take on training. Armed with the knowledge from his deep dive into other sports, McEvoy turned his own swimming training upside down. Gone were the long training sessions that maximized his metabolic capacity. Now McEvoy spent a lot less time in the pool and a lot more time in the gym. The differences between my approach to Paris and my approach to the 3 Olympics beforehand was to pivot away from collapsing in on a purely and only metabolic viewpoint on training and maximizing just that level, and taking philosophies from the strength and conditioning world, the athletics world, speed cycling world, and basically any other sport that competed for roughly similar lengths of time as a 50 freestyle. The 100-meter freestyle, McEvoy said. And so, I went from, let's say, on average 30 kilometers a week in the water swimming, and then trying to squeeze out 3 gym sessions as best you can with that type of workload, to probably 2 kilometers at most in the water per week, and a lot more of an emphasis on the gym side of things. While on paper the reduction from 30 kilometers worth of laps to 2 may seem drastic, McEvoy stressed that volume is only one metric. When the intensity of the shorter swim sessions is factored in, the 2 kilometers McEvoy is swimming weekly now are close in pace to the 50-meter sprint races he does in competition. The effort evens out. McEvoy's new approach also includes more resistance training, both in and out of the pool, and exercises to build muscle mass. It's made me realize that there are a lot of myths in the swimming world, McEvoy said. One for sprint swimming is you don't want to get too muscly. You don't want to get too strong because that makes you slow, and I'm starting to realize that's only true within the traditional training model. But you strip away that 30 kilometers a week, then you can get stronger. You can have a lot more strength that you can exert, a lot of power that you can exert within the water, and you don't have that aerobic load taken away from you. So you can actually train that new muscle and have that new strength be turned into a velocity within the water. The swimmer and his team use video recording tools to get accurate timings of his reps and better analysis on his technique. Their training base in Brisbane is also equipped with a CAPAS block, a Kistler force instrumented starting block, which measures different aspects of a swimmer's start, such as force output during the dive, takeoff velocity, and power output in watts per kilogram for both the front and rear foot. Basically, whatever you want to nerd out on, it'll give you that data, McEvoy said. I've been doing that for a little over 2 years. We've got almost 2,000 different data, like full spreadsheets of each rep that I've done off that block, and we'll continue to get that. The improvements that McEvoy has noticed since switching to the less is more training plan are not only about how much faster he got in the pool. There are benefits to his overall health as well. Please subscribe the channel. Share this with a friend. Thank you.